Do you ever feel like you don't have enough time and wish you could be multiple places at once? Well, that's what we would like to say that we would be able to do for you at the end of this video, but sadly, we don't have that ability. Yet. You will, however, be able to get more out of your time and be more like Elon Musk. How's it going, Masters? Nick here. Mr. Shea here. I hope you have your notebook or your brain ready because we are going to be going over 4 tips to help you take control of your time and level up your life. If you enjoyed this video, then pound that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and if you know anyone that constantly runs around like a chicken with their head cut off, then please send this to them so they can reattach it. Pound that like button. Really? So, Mr. Shea, what is the most important aspect of your time management? Well, I would say that it is being very intentional with where I spend my time. The most important aspect of time management is prioritization, and realizing that when you say yes to one thing, you inherently say no to another. Many of us have thousands of decisions that we make throughout the day, and some of those we are obligated to say yes to. However, there are plenty that we do not have to say yes to, and yet we still do. Right, so you're kind of looking at all the aspects throughout your day and then kind of thinking about what gives value to you and what does not give value to you, and then cutting out what you don't really need, because if you spend all of your time on Toon Blast like Ryan Reynolds, then you can't get any of your homework done or develop any of your ninja skills. Would you stop with your ninja skills? It goes far beyond trivial things such as that. The most important aspect is in the workplace and taking on too many projects, but it also extends beyond that into your friendships and making sure that you don't offer too many favors to them. This means that you have to get more used to saying no, and the only way to do that is by saying no more often, because there is no easy way to become more comfortable with it. You just need to make sure that you are respectful and thoroughly explain the reasoning behind why you cannot take on the extra task, especially in the workplace. Oh, so that's why you never say yes to hanging out with me. No, I just don't like you. But you need to make sure that you don't say no to everything. This just means that you have the extremely difficult task of thinking more about where you invest your time. Well, now I know not to invest any time into you, but something that I like to do whenever I have a bunch of tasks on my plate is batch them by similar subjects or similar nature of the task, because whenever I'm bouncing from one task to another, it takes a while for me to get into the flow of doing that task because I constantly have to reorient to the different task. I personally prefer to batch within the same subject, and to give you an example, whenever I write the script for these videos, I then like to record soon afterwards because it's fresh on my mind and it's pretty easy for me to remember. And then I like to edit soon after that because I can remember where I made mistakes and quickly go and make those corrections. Oh, what a surprise, you have trouble remembering things. But yes, I quite agree, batching tasks is a great way to save time. I, however, prefer to batch via the nature of the task. So whenever I write an advisement memo for NASA, after I finish, I then prefer to go and write an article for the Smithsonian, because I tend to get in the flow of writing, and while I am writing the article, the NASA memo is still ruminating in the back of my mind, and whenever I return to edit it, I have many more ideas. But going back to prioritization, another thing I like to do is create time blocks for everything in my schedule. Elon Musk actually does this exact same thing, and he runs 3 companies and is a father to 4 children, so that speaks to its efficiency. Time blocking is pretty much what it sounds like. You block out a certain part of time throughout the day to work on a specific thing for a specific period of time, and then you put that in your calendar or on a piece of paper. And you said that you planned out everything, but you didn't mean that you planned out everything, right? Why, of course I do. If you don't plan your life, then someone else will plan it for you. I know it might make me seem like I'm a bit too structured, but you even said in Why We Procrastinate that we tend to struggle whenever something is unstructured. So by time blocking, you help reduce the risk of procrastination and enhance your ability to focus, even with your free time, because 1, you want to make sure that you give yourself time to rest, and relax. And secondly, you want to make time for important things like spending time with your family, developing a hobby, or whatever a person like you would do. And also remember that time blocking does not cement your feet to the ground to work on something for a specific amount of time. It is merely an outline to help you make sure that you get done what you intend to get done. And if something comes up, then you can go and work on that. You can then just rearrange your time block to fit your schedule. That is interesting. It seems to kind of take a lot of the thinking out of what you're gonna do throughout the day, which is something that I struggle with because I don't really plan that much. I just kind of wing it, and then after I finish something, then I spend a lot of time trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing next. So that might actually be useful. Yes, but if I were you, I would make sure to give yourself an extra 30 minutes of fluff, because especially at first, you will most likely be poor at estimating how long it takes to complete a task. And you can also use an app like Toggle to time yourself to give yourself a better understanding of how long it takes you. And do you do this for the entire week, or do you just kind of take it day by day? Well, I do it for the entire week, but I know exactly how long it will take me to complete a task, and I don't allow for any interruptions in my work. But for the average Joe and Jane, interruptions will be a very normal thing. So you cannot time block your entire week, and if you did, then it will make it very difficult for you to be flexible because you have everything blocked off, and it'll be difficult to change. So I would recommend that you start off at the beginning of the week by writing down all of your potential obligations for that week, and then begin filling in each day with a list of things that you hope to accomplish in that day. You can then time block for that specific day that you are on. I would also recommend that you keep a list of your long-term projects to refer to whenever you are doing this to make sure that you don't miss any deadlines. Well, I believe that that's all that we have for you. So just to recap real quick, first, you want to be more intentional with where you spend your time and question whether something gives you any value or not, because whenever you say yes to one thing, you inherently say no to something else. You then want to batch your tasks either by the similar nature or by similar subject, because it will help you stay in the flow of the work. You then want to plan out your day by putting them in specific time blocks to help make sure you get done what you need to get done, but you don't want to do that for the entire week because it can be difficult to be flexible whenever you do that. You do, however, want to create a list for each day because it will help get it off of your mind, and then you don't need to worry about what you're going to do next. I hope this video helped you level up your life. If it did, then please pound that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? I'll see you in the next one.